Thanks for staying with us. Today is Christmas Day, and we know that we're going to be talking about giving, gifts, and being kind in a moment. But first, there was a hot topic that caught our attention, and we thought it's important for us to say a few things about it and discuss it. There was a woman that took to her social media page. Her name is Omalicha Mma. She said that she's a young widow, and she alleged that her brothers-in-law, after her husband had passed, came into the house and locked up the door and tried to kick her out of her husband's house with her children. According to her, her husband's brothers did not meet her at home, so obviously they attacked her younger one who was in the house and locked up the house. She had to lean on the Nigerian police to get them to open up the door for her and get her and her children back into the house. But she was going on and lamenting about the terrible experience she had to undergo as a young widow, having to deal with in-laws who wanted to take over her husband's property after his demise. Now, the truth is that this is a conversation we've had several times. This is a situation where we are well familiar with in this part of the world, where young widows or even widows always complain that the husband's family come around. But the easiest part for us is always to support the women and say, why would they do that to her? Why would they throw her out of the house? But today's conversation, we'd like to look at a 360. Is there ever a reason? Is there ever a reason that is justifiable for any family member to intentionally and deliberately evict a widow from her home? Are there reasons? Because if we speak to the husband's family and hear their own version, we may begin to have different kind of conversations. So the question here is there any justifiable reason to do these things? That's the conversation. You can call us on 081 764 1679 090 241 63440. You can also send us messages on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your messages. Ladies, as I said, this is a conversation. This is a situation we are well familiar with. And most of us always try to support the woman. Because the truth is that why would you throw anybody out after X amount of years with a man? But if you also hear stories from the husband's family sometimes, they will give you different reasons. Oh, she did this. She killed her husband. Oh, she did that. The children are not the man's own. Or she used to be very rude to the wife, to their mother. She was this, she was a horrible person. They give you different stories. And then gets the question of, is that a justifiable reason to evict your brother's wife from her house? Who'd like to go?
I think, let me say, in my own opinion, if we are going to look at it to look at it holistically, I think that, yes, sometimes family members could be justified because having a family is between two of you. But when one party is no longer available, it becomes your word against the dead. Sometimes I've heard a case, very close home case, of the children not being for the man. Apparently, they had agreed. Can two people or more be if they do not agree? So apparently, the husband and the wife had an agreement that they would conceal it because the man couldn't perform. So it was a mutual understanding. Right. But apparently, in this case scenario, the man fell sick and he confided in his brother against the woman. So all after they had agreed, it was about 15 years, so he passed. So the brother stood on the fact that my brother had told me. At that point, the wife, when you cannot defend, so she had so much betrayal for the dead. But we had agreed, but it was our decision for me to go out there, bring babies, and we will manage it. But now, she never had the idea that he was even ever going to tell the brother. Maybe in quotes, I thought, when I heard the story, because it was very close, we all sat down, we were listening, and it was a lot of was flying up and down. And when I thought about it, I'm thinking that, is it that the man just lured her? Maybe he loved her for another reason and just wanted to keep her, oh, you want children? Because how would two people agree?
But they're adults. Adults can agree.
That's what I'm saying.
But I hear you. But two full-blown adults sat down together and had an agreement. That's between them. Unfortunately, maybe they should have had the document to have it signed, so that both of them...
Because they didn't want it to get out. But you know that in the court of law now, like I have lawyer friends, it is agreed that once the man had accepted the children while he was alive, no family member can come and say otherwise. But how many family members will go to the court of law to prove? Yeah. So they will do the jungle justice first. You understand?
So let me just tell you, first of all, for the woman in question, are you a good person? Because I have an in-law who, like what you said, this is like a true life story. Me, I don't know how to cook.
Yeah, it is a true life story.
I have an in-law who, along the line, we realized that the child that she had for my brother-in-law wasn't for my brother-in-law. And then eventually, my brother-in-law died. Nobody disturbed her. Because even whilst he was alive and they were living together, she was an amazing person to everyone. Not just to our in-laws, to everyone around us. She was always giving people things. She was always welcoming people home. She carried everybody like one family. That even now that the man has passed away, we still call her Iyawo. We still embrace the children. We still talk to her like she's still part of the family. So first of all, you should ask yourself, are you a good person? Now, just to give you a real life story, it happened to my own auntie. I knew growing up that she never allowed her children to mingle with her in-laws, the uncles, the aunties, the mother-in-law. She never allowed. She had her own reason, I don't know, to be honest. She just did not want them. According to her, when you carry in-law for house, you carry them, you show them love. When they want to show you shaky. So no, me, I give my distance. Everybody stay on your own. The man died. If you see what they did to this woman, they locked her up. This is from Benin. So that's why I like the fact that he said we should not even look at any tribe, because this is like a Benin person. They locked her inside the room with the dead body for 3 days. Afterwards, I'm not even, any Benin person will understand what I'm saying. Afterwards, they washed the body of the man and they gave her to drink. They were like, okay, if you know that you not kill your husband, after 3 days or 4 days, you would be okay, you will not die. But when you start falling sick, we'll know that, yes, you have hand in it. And it's because she didn't embrace her husband's family. So yes, in as much as we keep on saying that this is not justifiable, there should be a law for widow, there should be this and that. But you, as a married woman, how well do you carry your husband's
Okay,
family?
I love this conversation so far. I like the angles. I love that we're seeing things from different perspectives. Bisi, I'll come to you because the truth is that even though, from Uwe's perspective, if the woman perhaps was nicer, more accommodating, maybe they'll bend the rules for her such that in your own situation, the woman was, in other situations, the woman, maybe she's not very accommodating, and they need to down say, you know what, because of that, we are going to take back the house. We don't want you. Now, my question is, in the secular world, the reason why there's a law is that regardless, justice has no...
It has no eyes.
It's blind, right?
Blind.
Means that I don't care how nice, accommodating or not accommodating, the law is that you're a legal wife. As long as you're a legal wife, XYZ is the way you should treat it. So how do we therefore marry our cultural beliefs with the law? How do we find a middle ground? Bisi, let me come to you because I'm hearing different angles.
Yeah.
You're nice or you're not nice.
Yeah. So I don't think it should have anything to do with your niceness or not niceness, because I've seen situations where the woman was very nice, accommodated everybody. Their house was a go-to. By the time the husband died, their faces changed immediately.
Color.
Yes.
True.
Changed immediately. So it had nothing to do with her niceness, right? In fact, the nicer you are, Seth, is even worse. They are wicked people you are dealing with, because then they know everything about you. They know how to get
into.
And that's why some women get into marriage and they protect themselves. Like that person who you used as an example, distance herself. She may have seen something coming there, and then she's like, let me not give these people an opportunity to even know what I can do, so that they have a form of fear in case anything happens. So people make different decisions because of what they've seen, what they've experienced, maybe what their family members have experienced. Now, what I feel is people should be wary of families where their husband is the only breadwinner. It's usually a problem, where the whole family members are looking up to him. If he does not drop the bread, we will not eat. He has able-bodied brothers and cousins and uncles, and none of them are working. None of them are doing anything to elevate themselves. They are waiting on him. If anything happens to that man, you will be in trouble.
I agree.
And that's why the law must be there to protect such women. Because the truth is, when these families carry all of this nonsense fights, they're not thinking of the children, of their brother.
Their widow,
They're not considering the children. So
dead.
you drive her, You chase her. Maybe she's married to somebody who didn't allow her work in the first place. She's not earning her own money. And then you are not asking, how will my brother's children eat? It's about driving her away from the house, taking the properties and going to sell it. It's not like they're going to use the property to do anything meaningful. They sell it, they take their drinks and all of that. So you must be very intentional. You must be very careful. And also, as a woman, I always advise, you are in a family where it seems like everybody's relying on your husband. Find a way to establish the rest. And I know that it could be a Herculean task because you may have people who, they will collect money for business, they will squander it.
They will come back to ground zero.
Come back tomorrow. You know, but do what you can do to the best of your ability to just settle them somewhat. So that in case they come back tomorrow, justice will prevail at the end of the day. And also protect your own wife. There's no reason why you have a wife who, her name is not in your paper. She doesn't have her own property. Assets. She doesn't have her own asset. There's nothing you have kept aside for her in case anything happens. And when we're having this conversation, the man would think like, you want me to quickly die? Why are you discussing will? Why are you discussing this?
Sure.
These are some of the things that you're in love with your wife will make sure that you have put in case, because you can never tell what your family will do when you are not there. Nobody can tell.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, I'll take a few calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.